Hello, I'm Rita Harrison, a German naturopath and physical therapist, international teacher and author. If you're watching this video, you're probably looking for an effective way to stay grounded in an ever so chaotic and changing world. As a woman, or you are a man who wants to be there for their women appropriately. Remember, a real woman can do it all by herself, but a real man doesn't let her. Or you are a man who wants to be connected with the feminine side and stay grounded through the feminine side. So what makes us suffer when we are not grounded? It is when we lose balance, or we can't find our balance, or we don't know how to keep the balance. A lot of women suffer from a false conditioning. I have to be nice versus I'm allowed to be authentic. Maybe you know the quote, you're born to be real and not to be perfect. They secretly hope that others are grateful to them without having to say anything, versus making clear demands or stating a clear expectation, what they expect to gain back from what they want. Oh, I don't need anything, they usually say. Yeah, I just do it all for my heart. This can be very dangerous for both parts, the giving and the receiving, because it can create a disbalance, and then we bring up resentments or negative feelings. Another thing is they try to avoid arguments. They are afraid of arguments versus saying no when they mean it. Then we as women tend to take on a somehow subordinate behavior. Sometimes we go into the opposite and then we are very dominant, but that is not the solution, because that's just the other side of the medallion. So when we take on a subordinate behavior, we excuse ourselves for our feelings and for our needs. Oh, I'm sorry that I need that, or I feel so bad about that, often without noticing it. Versus risking to be insubordinate and to be difficult to control. Because very often we hear, especially when there are women, oh, she's so difficult or she's so selfish, where we would not say that if this would be a man, to be honest. The consequences are that we build up then a lot of resentment and anger towards ourselves, but also towards our loved ones or towards life. And then we feel even worse than we already felt. Versus living in a natural state of respect towards ourselves, towards our loved ones, and finding the balance between both sides. What lies behind all of this? First, a false conditioning of not being worthy. Second, a fear of being rejected. Third, an insecurity of being loved for who we truly are as women, and not being loved for how we behave nicely. So the negative consequences are that the partners, the kids, friends, colleagues very often mirror us then what we try to suppress. So we might not be able to feel honestly, that we need a boundary there, or that goes too far, or we would actually say no. And so we might be with a partner who does that all the time. So it's very important to be aware of it and not letting our environment live it out loud for us, so that we integrate it and make it a part of us. Let's learn the lesson and move forward from this in our upcoming Healed Woman Seminar, where we learn how to connect with our authentic self, dare to be all that we are and feel safe, invite others to love us for our true self, and access spiritual guidance for lasting self-mastery, because self-mastering is the most important thing, and gain serene independence from opinions that are outside of our truth, without having to be another male or a woman who starts to hate men. It has nothing to do with that. So please join me on a journey that is uniquely healing and self-empowering, without guilt, without shame, and without negative self-judgment. Yeah? So full of knowing and wisdom. We have a lot of information to share, exercises, we have food there so that we can nourish ourselves without losing ourselves or becoming too self-absorbed, and where we will explore how to live in balance. For more information, feel free to contact me or call me on the phone. Thank you for listening.